What's up YouTube, KS Gun Guy. Thanks for joining me. If you like what you see here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and there's plenty of content on the way. So I'm really excited to show you the firearm in the box you've got in front of you, and I've kind of hinted at it for a little while, and I actually did feature it in a grip video. Be sure to check that out, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a moment as well. But this is actually a Springfield Armory in the box, and just looking at the box, this box is gigantic, but it's extremely good quality, very tough plastic. It does have hinges, and it can lock, which is really nice. So Springfield Armory did a really good job of packaging this firearm. But then when you open up the box, it comes with quite a bit here, and I'll tilt it so you can see everything a little bit. It does come with a holster and a mag pouch, double mag pouch actually. Of course, it does come with a paperweight or lock, whatever you want to call it. It does come with a really nice bore brush as well. I did take that out of the box. I'll actually use that. It does come with 2 extra magazines. I did not put those back in the box. They were kind of a pain to try and put back in, so I left those out. And then, of course, the firearm. And yes, I'm grabbing it by the trigger. Don't worry. I've done a safety check off screen, but I'll do one on screen as well. So here is our Springfield Armory EMP and the magazines that come with it. Of course, it does have one in the firearm itself, but as you can see, it is unloaded. And I'll tell you, this is just fantastic firearm, and I was waiting to share this with you guys. First, I wanted to get quite a bit of rounds down range, and I'm somewhere 300, 350, which I know is not a super ton of rounds, but when you shoot a lot of different guns for reviews, you can only put so many rounds down range in a gun at a time. I plan on shooting this a lot more, but so far it's been a delight. So more on that, and of course a lot of shooting footage as we go along, and towards the end of the film as well. But I was waiting to get some grips for this, and I'll talk a little bit more about these specific grips here as well as the grips that come with it. But let's get some specs out of the way on this firearm. So the overall length of this is 6.6 inches. The height is 5 inches. The barrel is actually a 3-inch match grade bull barrel, so it is a pretty significant barrel for a 9mm, and I suppose it's somewhat common in these small 9mm that are in the 1911 style platform. The overall width of this gun, and I'll give you a couple of measurements. The overall width from really from the safeties, because it does have ambidextrous safeties, is actually 1.4 inches. But if you took it just from the slide, it's actually under an inch. It's about 0.94 inches. So pretty thin firearm when you think about it. And then the overall weight on it is 27 ounces. The slide is a steel slide, and this actually has a satin finish on it. There is a completely blacked out version of this, but I really like the satin finish on it. I think it looks really nice. It does have an aluminum alloy frame on it, but again, coming in at 27 ounces, there's plenty of weight here to make it a really fun shooter at the range, but not so much to where it's going to weigh you down. It's certainly a carryable firearm. The sights on it are going to be a 3-dot tritium setup, which is nice. It comes factory with night sights, and they're really good quality sights too. Now, they are kind of a Novak style sight, so there's not much of a ledge to do any one-handed manipulations or anything, but still very good quality sights. I really like these quite a bit, and I see no reason to change these out. Now, it does have a dual spring guide rod in it, which is really nice to help reduce recoil. And again, it comes with the 3 9-round magazines right out of the chute. And I think right now, the Springfield sale that's going on, you get some extra magazines, and it might run for this as well. I got this pre-sale, sadly. I wish I had got some extra magazines, but still, coming with 3 is still a pretty good deal. So I'm not sure about that sale so much. Now, these grips are actually from Stoner CNC. I did a feature on that. Be sure to check that video out. The original grips that came with this firearm are these kind of rosewood grips, and these are nice grips as well, but I find them to be a little bit slick, and I actually really wanted something to kind of brighten this up a little bit. Now, I featured these double diamond grips a few weeks ago from Stoner CNC, and these are fantastic as well. I really like them, but again, I kind of wanted the orange. I wanted something a little bit louder with this because I thought it looked really nice with the black and the stainless steel. So check out Stoner grips, and there is a coupon code out there right now. It does not have an expiration date, and it's 5% off any purchase over $40. And make sure to make it all caps KS Gun Guy for that coupon code, and you do get that 5% off. And they're already a great deal at right around $50 unless you do some custom things with it. So be sure to check those guys out. Give them some love for sure. So some other features of the firearm, it is very 1911-ish. It definitely has a fit and finish and a feel in the hand like a 1911. Of course, it does have the ambidextrous safety, which is nice, and it is it's a very tactile safety. You really know that it's on and it's off. And when I'm shooting, I shoot I'm right-handed, left thumb forward on the frame under the slide, and then I actually, for a 1911, I prefer to rest my thumb on the safety, because that way I know that it's disengaged and I'm ready to fire. That seems to work really well, and it works well for this platform. I'll be doing another video down the road comparing it to a very similar small 1911, and I don't find this particular grip to be quite as comfortable on that gun. But the EMP, I feel like you can really shoot all day, which is really nice. And to take it apart, it takes apart very similar to 1911's, except that it does not have a barrel bushing. It's a bull barrel. So to take it apart, and I'm not actually going to take the whole thing apart on camera, but you would line up the slide, your kind of standard 1911 notch, right there with the head of your takedown lever, and you do have to push from the other side, push this dot, and you're good to go. It'll pop out, and you can take your slide off. Now, it does come with a little plastic assist that you can put on the spring, which is nice. I find that you don't have to use it. It's nice if you want to. I mean, it can be a little bit of a pain to take back off, but it really it can disassemble all by itself, which is really nice. It does have a skeletonized hammer and also a skeletonized trigger as well. And I find the trigger on this to be very light and crisp. It's maybe about a 3.5 pound trigger. I've not measured it on the Lyman. I'll do that here in just a moment. And there's the reset. Now, it's a pretty soft reset. However, it is tactile. I can definitely feel it. So I'll do that again. I'm going to get my finger out of the way here. And there it is, reset. And it's a pretty short reset, and you're ready to fire again. So as far as 1911 triggers, I'm sure you would say that there are 1911s that are significantly better and more finely tuned than this. But right out of the gate from the factory, it's very nice. And it is adjustable for over travel as well. So you can do some fine tuning on this. So how does this trigger measure up here? We'll do 1 or 2 measurements. If you've watched my other videos, you know I'm kind of terrible at this, but we'll give it a try. All right, so that's 4 pounds, 0.8 ounces. So I was just a hair nice to this on my estimate at about 3.5 pounds, but let's try this one more time. All right, so that was 4 pounds, 7 ounces. So a little heavier than my guesstimate on that. Again, your mileage may vary on that, and you got to take into account that I'm the one pulling the gauge, so it might not be perfect, but it's pretty good. But overall, I really like the fit and finish of this firearm. It's really just, it's extremely comfortable in the hand, and it fits really well. And with these grips added to it, and these grips are actually the slash and burn grips from Stoner CNC. They've got quite a variety of textures and aggressiveness. These are kind of a medium aggressive, and they do have the thumb cut out as well. So that works out really nicely. I like the fit and finish on that quite a bit. So how does this shoot at the range? Let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of footage. All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that footage at the range. Like I was saying before, the EMP is just a lot of fun to shoot at the range. I mean, it's something that you can really do all day, and it's the recoil is not so much that it's going to burn out your hand quickly. Now, aside from the grip panels, which I love, it does have some backstrap texture as well, so there's a little bit of grippiness there. One thing that sets this aside, however, from the EMP4, that's a newer release from Springfield Armory, the EMP4 actually does also have texturing in the front, which this does not. I don't find that to be a problem. I'm sure that the EMP4 would feel great as well. I have not handled one, but this one does just fine for me. I think there's plenty of grip here, and so it's just a delight to shoot. Now, there was a little bit of an experiment when I was caring for this gun after the first range trip to the second range trip. One thing I tried, this is the first time I've actually tried this, and no, this is not a product endorsement, this is just an experience I had. It's the first time I've tried grease. And so I actually tried some Grizzly grease on this, and I have to say it worked really well. So my first foray into grease rather than Wilson Combat Oil, which I typically use. So kind of fun and interesting. I'm not sure I'd grease my polymer guns. I'd probably stick to oil, but on 1911s, I think it works out really nicely. And with the fit and finish, I mean, it's a reasonably tight finish. It's not custom tight, but it's pretty tight. I think the grease actually really helps it just a little bit. It does have a beaver tail on it, and it's a really nice beaver tail. It really allows you to get pretty high up on the grip and not worry about any sort of slide bite or anything like that. So again, just a very comfortable gun to shoot, and frankly, I think it's a really cool looking gun, and it's just the right size for a 1911. Don't get me wrong, I love a 5-inch 911 as much as the next person, but this is a really interesting experience to shoot and even to hold, and with the 9mm round, it really is a pleasure. It doesn't wear you out at all. So I'd love to hear your comments on this, and if you have any experiences with an EMP or any of the other guns that are kind of like it, like maybe a Colt Defender or something like that, I'd love to hear about that as well. And again, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time. Thanks.